The question that 100 million type 2 diabetics and pre-diabetics in the United States alone should be asking themselves every day when they wake up is how are they going to reverse their insulin resistance? And the answer is actually really simple. Once you know exactly how somebody becomes insulin resistant, you already have the answer for what to do to address it. By addressing it, I mean boosting your insulin sensitivity and reversing your insulin resistance. I'm going to show you really simply how somebody becomes insulin resistant. And once you understand this, you'll know exactly what to do to address it. This is the modern American diet. If you look at the bottom, there's a bunch of meals. We don't just eat 3 meals anymore. We're constantly snacking. But snacking is the enemy, especially since most snacks are high in carbohydrates, refined carbohydrates, and they cause blood sugar spikes. We wake up, we have breakfast. Maybe it's a piece of toast or some cereal or some fruit or some sweetened yogurt. Those carbohydrates, especially refined carbohydrates, cause a blood sugar spike. That is the blue line. It spikes. Insulin, the purple line, also spikes with it. Insulin's job is to open the door to all of our cells, our heart cells, our muscle cells, our liver cells, and our fat cells. Once insulin opens up all those doors and the cells start to get fed the glucose, our glucose levels crash. Carbohydrates are quickly digested and there's a blood sugar crash. When blood sugar crashes, we feel hungry again, so we have a snack. Maybe somebody brought cookies to the office and we have one of those, or maybe we have a sip of soda, or perhaps a banana. What happens is, again, our blood sugar spikes. And we repeat this process throughout the day, snacking and eating all day long. For thousands of years, before we were snacking between meals or even having 3 meals a day, we were fasting and feeding. When we're constantly feeding, our insulin levels remain elevated all day. Look at the purple line. It's elevated throughout the day. And if insulin levels are elevated day in, day out for a long period of time, our cells become resistant to that insulin. They're bathing in insulin and they become very resistant to it. Now, if the reason why we're becoming insulin resistant is because we're eating a diet that causes blood sugar spikes, crashes, constant snacking, and elevated insulin levels all day, then the solution becomes clear. 1, we need to control glucose and insulin spikes. And 2, we need to stop snacking and eating all the time. By spacing our meals and not snacking between meals, insulin levels come down and we increase our insulin sensitivity when our insulin levels are low. Because the processed food we're constantly eating or snacking on has no fiber, we're always eating because we're always hungry. So add protein, fiber, and healthy fat to your diet and you won't feel hungry all the time. This will make it easier to space your meals and not snack between them. If you've seen my page, I've done lots and lots of videos on this. Truthfully, I'm shocked more people aren't talking about this. It's helping people with PCOS, type 2 diabetes, and other insulin resistance conditions.